Hi guys, Ms. Berg again. We are going to be starting 5.5. First of all, I'm just going to quickly talk about it with like base 10 blocks, kind of get you to understand what is going on. However, I am not going to be using base 10 blocks the rest of the time after I kind of go over it. I'm just going to use my simple division. So here is where we are going to start. I'm going to flip it around here. All right, so it says Lisa is making reusable shopping bags. She has 3 6/10 yards of fabric. She needs 3/10 of a yard of fabric for each bag. How many shopping bags can she make with 3 6/10 yards of fabric? So in order to do this, first of all, it says that it's telling us to shade a model, but they didn't provide us a model, and that is why it's gonna be easier for me just to kind of show this here. So it says to cut apart your model to show tenths. All right, so first of all, it's saying that we are going to take 3 wholes and 6/10, and we're going to divide that by 3/10. All right, so in order to do this, first of all, what I would tell you to do is first model this so you understand what's going on. So that is 3 wholes and then 6/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now it says they want us to put them in groups of 3/10. All right, so in this case, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's one group. And then 1, 2, 3, there is another group of 3/10. Now, here's the thing. This is not into tenths. So if I broke this apart, this would be 10. This one would be another 10, and this would be another 10. So therefore, if I did this, that would mean I would have 30/10. So I'm going to go ahead and do 30/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So I just took these and broke them apart and made them 30/10. Now I can break them into groups of 3/10. So starting over here, here's another group. 1, 2, 3, another group of 3/10. 1, 2, 3, another group. Then 1, 2, 3, here's another group and another group. Now 1, 2, 3, another one. 1, 2, 3, here's another. 1, 2, 3, here's another. 1, 2, 3, another. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now we just count up how many groups of 3/10 that is. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that would be a total of 12 groups. So that is your answer to this. Now, I'm showing you why that is. However, I am not going to be doing it that way. I am going to be doing it your normal division way. So because this was listed first, we're going to put that one in the box, and then we're going to divide amongst 3/10. Now, here is the problem. This is not a whole number. And since when you go over to your multiplication chart, none of these are saying by 3/10. And do I expect you to know your 3/10 by heart? Absolutely not. That is just ridiculous. I would never ask you to know your 3/10 by heart. So what you should be doing is you should be making this so that it is a whole number, so it is easier for us to see. So in order to do so, how many places would I have to move it to make that decimal at the end of that number so it's a whole number? Well, that means I would have to move it one place. So in order to do that, and make it even on both sides, I also have to move this one over one place as well. So if I move this one over one place, I must do the same over here and move it one place. So then after I do that, I'm going to rewrite my number, and this is now going to be 3. So this is no longer be a decimal. The decimal is going to be no longer here. So 3, and then this would now be 36. And then I just divide like normal. How many 3s can go into 3? That would be 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract it, that'd be a 0. Then check it, we are okay, bring down your 6. How many 3s go into 6 is 12. 12 times 3 is 6 with nothing remaining. So therefore your answer is 12. So that is what we are going to be doing. I'm just going to simply tell you to just shift it over if it's not a whole number, to make it a whole number so it's easier for us to look at. And then if you move it over one time to make it a whole number, you must do the same to the dividend as well to make it even. And then you just divide. So then if you do want to check this, what you would do is you would put it back into the original problem. Again, the original problem was actually saying 3/10, and then this one was saying 3 6/10, but then we came out to be 12. So in order to check this, you should be multiplying these two, and then it should equal your dividend. To see if this is true, I am going to go ahead and multiply it. So how many decimal places? How many numbers are after the decimal places? There is only 1. So now we just multiply like normal. So 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. And then you can bring down a 0. And then it's just going to be a row of zeros. So 6, 3, and 0. And then you can bring it in one place, which it is showing us 3 6/10. We don't need that 0 there because it is before the numbers. So you can just act like it's not there. And that is still saying our original number. So therefore, our answer is 12 to make this statement true. All right. So next, here we go. This one says you can also use a model to divide by hundreds. So this is another way that they're telling you can do. So it says Julie has $1.75 in nickels, and how many stacks of 25 cents can she make from that $1.75? Well, the one thing that you could do over here, and what it's showing you to do, is that you can cut these up into groups of 25. So this is one group of 25, and then this is 5. Each one is 10. So this is 15, and then plus another 10 would be 25. So we would come down here. This would be 2 groups. Then you do another 25. So this is 10, 20, and then you do 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I'm going to cut it right here and down. So this is your group, your third group. And then this is 5, 15, 25. So this is your fourth group. And then you keep on going. So 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's that. Bring it on down. This is the 5th group. Then here's 5, 15, 25. So here's your 6th group, and then to check 10, 25, here's your 7th group. So therefore, how many groups of 25 make up the shaded part? It is 7. So therefore, that is your answer. But like I said, I will not be using these type of models. I would simply just be using your division. So you would take $1.75 and divide it by 25 cents. Again, you should make sure, because I don't want you going by 25 cents to get to there. Can it be done? Yes, it could, but I think it's so much easier to make this a whole number. So how many places would you have to move this to make this a whole number of 25? It was 2 places. So this I would have to move twice. And if I have to move this one twice, I have to move the dividend twice as well. So therefore, my decimal would be right here. So I have to move that twice. Now I can go ahead and rewrite this with my decimal movements. Would be 25 here, and now this one would be 175. So then how many 25s can go into one? It can't happen. 17 can't happen, but 175, we already know what the answer is going to be. It's going to be 7. 7 times 25 does come out to be 175 with 0 remaining. So therefore, you would have still gotten the real answer of 7. And if you plug that back into the original problem, 7 times 25 cents, it will come out to be $1.75. Okay, so here, it kind of is going to help you out a little bit. It's going to already kind of help you. It already took your 1 2/10 and divided them into groups of 3/10. So how many groups of 3/10 do we have? We have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. So therefore your answer would have been 4 here. This one, they took your 45 hundredths and you divided them by 9 hundredths. And hold on, guys, I will be right back. Okay, sorry, guys. In order to do this, I would take my thing here. It says to take 45 hundredths and divide them amongst 9 hundredths. So if you do this in groups of 9 hundredths, which they already did for you, how many groups of 9 hundredths made up this model? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different groups. So that would be 5. Here, it is taking 96 hundredths, and you're going to be dividing them into groups of 2400. So if you go ahead and do this in groups of 24, which it already did it for you, how many groups does that come out to be? It is 4. Then if you took 1 whole and you cut them in groups of 5/10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which they already did. They already separated it for you right here. How many groups of 5/10 would there be? There would be 1 group and 2 groups. So that would be 2 groups. All right, here is the next thing. The next thing is going ahead and dividing this. It says to use decimal models. You do not. You can just simply use your division. So it'd be 1/24 hundredths divided by 62 hundredths. So the first thing that you should be doing is checking to see if this is a whole number. It is not. So how many places would I need to move it so that it is a whole number so I could do this? I would need to move it to the end. So that would be 2 places. So if I move this one 2 places, I must do the same to the inside, the dividend, and move it 2 places. So therefore my new number would be 62. And my new dividend would be 124. So now, can 62 go into 1? No, it cannot. How about into 12? No. How about into 124? Yeah, and I don't think it's by too much, so I'm going to times it by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 6 is 12. And that goes in evenly. And that is true. It goes in twice. 2 times 62 is 124 with 0 remaining. That would be 2 times. And you could plug it back into the original problem and do 2 times 62 hundredths will come out to be 124, 1/24 hundredths. Here, in order to do this, I am just going to put this one in the box, this one on the outside. Make sure that our divisor is a whole number. Is it a whole number? No, it is not. It is a decimal. So how many places do I need to move it? To move it to the end, I need to move it twice. So if I do it to my divisor, I must move my dividend in twice as well. So this is now going to be my new decimal there. So now this is going to be 14, and this is going to be 84. So how many 14s can go into 8? You can't do that. How many can go into 84? Well, we don't know. So if you don't know, always start at 5. So that would be 20, carry your 2. And that would be 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. So that is 70. So maybe I can get one more in there. So I'm going to try one more. That would be 24, carry your 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And that goes in perfectly. So it is 6 times. 6 times 14 is 84 with nothing remaining. So therefore your answer is 6. All right, so I want you to try this one on your own and see if you get the correct answer. So please pause this and try this one on your own. All right, so you should have paused it. And if you paused it, you would have had this. You would have saw up 4/10 is not a whole number, so I need to move it once to make it a whole number. And if I move this once, I must move my dividend once. So then when I rewrite it, it will be 4, and then my new dividend is 16. So how many 4s can go into 16? Would be 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. So my answer is 4. So, all right. So here, they want you to go ahead and figure out what happened here. So what is our divisor here? So how many are going to be in each group? So it's saying they took 2 and 4/10 and divided it by something to equal 3. So they want to know what is here. So if you look, this is 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. So what they are wanting to know is how many are in each group here. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 longs. So in order to say that, 8 longs is worth 8/10. So what is missing is 8/10 here. And they want to figure out what was the original number before they divided it into groups of 4 with 32 hundredths in each group. So in order to figure this out, you should have worked backwards. So instead of a division problem, you should have multiplied. So I'm going to do that right here. Okay, so how many numbers are after the decimals? There are 2. So now I just multiply like normal. That would be 8. Here is 12, carry your 1. Then 4 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1, and bring in your decimal 2 places. So your answer is 1 and 28 hundredths. All right, next. It says make a model to find 6/10 divided by 15 hundredths and describe your model. So guys, what this one is saying is they wanted you to do 6/10. So here's 6/10. Okay. And they wanted you to cut them into sections of 15 hundredths. Now remember, one strip is 10, but I need a total of 15. So if you did that, I would need half of this one. So this is one group. And then I need 5 plus another long would be your second group of 15. And then 10 and then half is 3 groups. And then this is 4 groups. So therefore your answer should come out to be 4 groups. So if you do this, I am just going to simply show you whether this comes out to be true or not. So in order to do this, I should be making it so that it is a whole number, 1 and 2. So then I'm going to move this 1 and 2. So then this one would be 15 and then into 60. So then can 15 go into 6? No. Can 15 go into 60? Yes. So we already know what the answer should be. So let's try 4. 5 times 4 is 20, carry your 2. This would be 4 plus 2 is 6. So yes, that goes in 4 times. That'd be 60, subtract, that'd be 0. That would be 4 groups. All right, so here it is saying to just shade 1 and 8/10 into groups of 6/10. So if you come over and look, remember it's saying 1 and 1 whole and 8/10. So that is only this part from here on over. So I'm going to just shade here. This is 1 whole and 8/10. And then they want us to go ahead and put these in groups of 6/10. So if you look, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a group. So that's one group. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is another group. So here's your second group. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here is your third group. So therefore, how many groups do you have of 6/10? It would be 3 groups. All right, so that is how you do that. Real quick, it says Emilio buys 1 2/10 kilograms of grapes. He separates the grapes into packages of 3/10 kilograms of grapes each. How many packages of grapes does Emilio make? So if you do this, you would take 1 2/10 and you're going to put them in groups of 3/10. How many packages? Was 4 packages of grapes. Now, what they wanted you to do is to now make a new problem with a different amount of weight in each package. And now the amount would now be the decimal of the tenths, use a total amount of 1 5/10 kilograms of grapes. So what I did, I'm just going to show you what I did here. You could have done 1 5/10 divided by 3/10. So if you did that, the 1 5/10 would go in here, the 3/10 would be here. This is not a whole number, so you'd be moving each one over once. And then how many 3's go into 15 would be 5. So then that would be 5. Here to draw a picture of it, you would be showing 1 whole and 5/10. And then you would be cutting them into groups of 3/10. So 1, 2, 3, that is 1 whole already. Then 1, 2, I don't have enough for another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split up this to 10/10. So then here's the rest of the second group. Here is the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So that would be 5 groups. All right, real quick while I'm at it, I'm just going to quickly go over this. It says Josie has 2 3/100 meters of blue ribbon, and she wants to cut it into 3/300 meters long pieces. And she has 2 5/10 meters of red ribbon, and she wants to cut it into 4/100 meters long pieces. How many more pieces of blue ribbon than pieces of red ribbon will there be? So it says right here that for the blue ribbon, she has 2 31/100ths, and she needs to cut it into 33/100ths pieces. So if you did the division behind that of moving it into a whole number, both the dividend and the divisor, you would have gotten 7 pieces there. So then if you looked at the red ribbon, she has 2 5/100ths meters, and if she wants to cut that into 41/100ths pieces, you would then divide it, looking like this, moving it into a whole number, and it would have been 5. So 5 pieces. But the question is, how many more blue ribbon than red ribbon will there be? Well, if you subtract the 2, it would be 2 more pieces. All right, so that is what you should have done there. All right, but now I'm going to go over to your homework. Here is your homework. Again, you do not need to use the base 10 blocks, but it is there if you need to use them. So here, it's telling you to take 1 6/10 and divide it amongst groups of 4/10. So they already did that for you, and it came out to be 4. Here, it said take 36/100ths and divide them into 6/100ths worth of groups with 6/100ths. And how many groups would that be total? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your answer would come out to be 6. However, don't forget to show your work. So just because I want to show you this here on your work, just as an added example for you guys to look at. This is your 36/100ths, and this would be your 6/10ths. Now the thing is your divisor a whole number? No, it is not. So you need to move it to make it a whole number. So that means you need to move it to the end, which is 2 places. So if you move that 2 places, you must move the other one out 2 places as well. So when you rewrite it, it would be 6. This would be 36. So how many 6s will go into 36? That would be 6 into 36 would be 6 times. So that is why we got 6 as our answer. So that is 6. And if we plug it back in here, 6 times 6/100ths will be 36/100ths. So our answer is 6. All right, now real quick, I'm going to do another one here. This is 2 8/10 divided by 7/10. Again, is this one in a whole number yet? No, it is not. So we need to move it 1 place. And then if we move that 1 place, we need to move this one 1 place. So when we rewrite it, it would be how many 7s go into 28. So how many 7s go into 28 is 4 times. So 4 times 7 is 28 with nothing remaining. So therefore your answer would be 4. So if you put this back in, 4 times 7/10 will be 2 8/10. So your answer is 4. Okay, so you will have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 for homework. 10, we're going to just quickly do this one together. It says, Leighton is making cloth headbands. She has 4 2/10 yards of fabric, and she uses 2/10 yards of fabric for each headband. How many headbands can she make with that length of cloth that she has? All right, so therefore we are going to take 4 2/10, and we are going to divide them into 2/10 sections. So first of all, is this a whole number? No, it is not. So we need to make it a whole number. That means we need to move it once. And then if we make this once, we need to move this one once as well. So when you rewrite this, it comes out to be 2, and then inside would be 42. Okay, can 2 go into 4? Yes, that would be twice, and that would be 4. with 0 remaining. Check it. We are okay. Bring down your 2. How many 2s go into 2? Would be 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract that, be 0. So therefore, your answer would be 21 headbands. Okay. All right. On the back, we are going to do this real quick. You will have 2, 4, and 6 on the back. Here we're going to do this one together. It says write a number sentence to tell what the model represents. So first of all, if you were to do this, you would have added up how many of these are there total, would be your dividend. So this would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So that would be 15 tenths. So 15 tenths is actually 1 5/10. So then you are going to be, you know how many groups they are. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 groups. But what is inside each group is 3/10. So you should have done this and you would have gotten that. All right, now this one says, what is the property that is showing in this equation? So the only thing that had happened was the 7 and the 5 flipped around. So therefore, what property allows you to flip around numbers? It is the commutative. So this one is showing the commutative property of addition, to be exact. Mm-hmm. All right, next, volunteers at the animal shelter divided 132 pounds of dry dog food equally into 16 bags. How many pounds of dog food did they put into each bag? Okay, now I'm going to do this one with you. So if you did this, you should have done this to divide. 16 can go into 1, no. Into 13, no. Into 132, yes. Now you could have started at 5, but to make this go a little faster, I know what it's going to be. It's going to be an 8. So 8 times 4 is 48, carry your 4. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. So there's no way I can get another 16 in there. So therefore that is 8. That would be 128. Now here is the problem. Can you have 2 and take away 8? No, you cannot. So you got to borrow. Now 12 minus 8 is 4. So here's the issue. It becomes a, there is a, so it is 8, and then there is a remainder. So remember on this case, you guys can just stop right here and then just do the J method. It would be 8 whole pounds, but then there is 4 over 16. So 4/16. So this is your answer, 8 and 4/16 pounds. Or if you wanted to, you could also have see if you could have a number that can go into both 4 and 16 evenly. Again, I would want you to stop right here. This is your answer. But if you wanted to go the extra step, you could have reduced this down. How many 4s go into 4 would be 1. How many 4s go into 16 would be 4. So you could have also have said the same thing is 8 1/4 pounds bags as well. So either one of these two are the same thing. So that would have been the answer. Okay, so then there is your homework for 5-5. Next will be 5-6, and I will get back to you guys later. Bye, guys.